Hello there everyone, uxwbill here with a little bit of a weather update, I guess you could say. As you may be aware, we had quite a snowstorm yesterday. I actually made a video about it. The snow has died down, but the winds are definitely still up and the temperatures are way down, which is why I want to take a moment before I start this video to caution all of you, especially anyone who happens to be living right in the thick of this, that you shouldn't go out. The weather is just so horrible right now, and the temperatures are so very low and very dangerous that even a couple minutes outdoors can result in you getting a very nasty surprise like frostbite or, triggering of other health problems. I've heard all over the radio this morning that the roads are really bad even when they don't look it, that there's a lot of ice and snow packed down on them that you necessarily can't even see. So I recommend that if at all possible you stay home unless you have an emergency, and Maybe even then, maybe even if you're like being chased by the abominable snowman from the Ski Free game, that, that's probably not an emergency enough that warrants going outside. So what am I going to do today? Well, today, I thought I'd do a couple of cold start videos because it is definitely cold out here. The weather reports I've seen suggest that the temperature, check out that drift, is somewhere around about -9 degrees Fahrenheit to -17, depending upon how you count. So let's see. I already know for a fact, my dad came out and tried to start the 2012 Impala, and it wouldn't fire. It cranked over just fine, but the computer kept trying to start it because it's got one of those electronically governed starters where the computer will keep trying. I don't know if it eventually gives up or not, but he said that it wouldn't fire. Now, in all fairness, lest you think I'm painting a picture of this car as being unreliable, it has to be said that this thing probably has a fuel tank that's mostly full of ethanol. So the first car we've got is my mother's Buick Park Avenue. I didn't hear the power locks click. That may not be a good sign. This car has a habit of being, well, the door's stuck shut. We may not be doing this one. This car has a bad habit of having problems with the battery terminals. I heard the locks click then. Let's see if I can get any of these doors to come open. It has a bad habit of being temperamental when the weather changes and the battery terminals get loose. We do have a headlight. Whoa, don't fall, William. Yeah, I don't want a chance breaking a door handle off this car in the name of being silly. Wow, that horn's ordinarily a lot louder than that. All right, so strike one. We can't quite manage to start that. Let's go over here and see if I can get my truck to start. Wow, I didn't bring keys out here for everything today. Just the stuff that I could find. And of course, Keykeeper and Furhead, both of their places of work were closed today. There's hardly a business around here that's open at all to speak of. So they're still in bed asleep. Well, that opened. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to start. Kind of worried about these trees. That one over there is over 100 years old. About 10 years ago, the woman who used to live there told us that she planted that as a kid, and she was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And she lived until about 96 or so, and that was every bit of 10 years ago, so I'm pretty sure that tree's 100 years old. And then of course we have the trees that came with the Roach Palace. And I already saw a broken branch in the yard over at the other place. So yeah. And don't be surprised if this thing dings and chimes and carries on because of the aforementioned electrical problem. Also wouldn't be surprised, stop that, if the starter drive on this doesn't stick. When my dad turned the Impala on, he said that the electronics, yeah, there we go, it's having a fit all right. He said that the electronics were slow to respond to turning off. Okay, there's our temperature report. Ice. It's actually -7 now. We got a little warmer. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this crazy thing will start. Oh, there's your sticking starter drive. But it started. I gotta give it credit for that. All right. I wonder if the garage door is stuck shut over there. Certainly not responding. Okay, we'll let that thing warm up and I'll see if I can get either one of these garage doors open, because you know what I'm going to try next? I'm going to try the Caprice wagon. I haven't driven it since the end of November, so it could very well have a dead battery. I'll go ahead and see if I can get these garage doors to open. We have had reliable power here at Walsh Motors, but I know some people who live out in the country have had power flickers, and I've heard reports on the radio that depending upon where you are, there's anywhere from a couple hundred to a couple thousand people without power. But thankfully the power has stayed on here without so much as a flicker. Knock on, well, vinyl trim, I guess. Alright, let me go ahead and try to open this thing up, see if I can get a response out of it. I have no idea if it'll actually show up on the camera, but there must be droplets of moisture in the air because there's a little rainbow over there and some kind of a bizarre reflection of the sun, which is actually off more to the left than what you're seeing here. That's pretty cool. What's not so cool is the fact that the garage doors, well, actually, maybe it's because they're very cool. The garage doors won't open. I've tried the opener button in the truck, which seems to be going through all the motions, and I've tried the little pad there on the wall. So I don't know what's happened here. I don't know if we've lost power in the time since I've been outdoors. I really wouldn't think so. There's a chimney over there at those apartments that's still emitting smoke. So I just don't know. I might actually have to find the keys to the garage, and it's anybody's guess whether or not I can actually find those. So I guess I'll be right back and see what's going on here, but it may not be good because the garage door openers are on two separate circuits, so you'd think that even if one of them had popped or was unable to function, that, well, the others, they'd still work. So I don't know. I know what we can do. We don't necessarily need keys. We can just walk across the frozen tundra here. You know, these little animal tracks and stuff. Oh man. Somebody should do some weeding back here, but probably only after it warms up. That's got to be a cold place to sit. Oh man. Well, the display on the electrical meter has what I call severe hypothermia, but it seems we got power to the building at least. I miss those spinning disc electrical meters. I don't think that either one of these doors is unlocked. I never heard of a garage door opener that quit working when it got cold. Oh my goodness. Alright, as you can see, I finally got the garage door open. It's very clearly not been open since the snow started falling. Almost kind of hate to destroy that neat looking little ledge there. The garage door openers were just fine. It was the actual remote push buttons that were having a problem. I guess it's just way too cold for the batteries to be able to do their thing. I took the one inside with me and let it warm up over the heat register, and all of a sudden it started working. So let's see if you can depend on your Chevrolet Caprice station wagon that's been sitting for about a month. I should probably let this car run for a little bit just to warm up and charge its battery. This thing should start. It's electronically fuel injected after all. And it's been out of that wretched wind, I can tell you already. It's definitely a little bit warmer in here than it is out there. Alright, well, we got some lights. Heard the fuel pump run. Clock's still keeping time. So let's see if it'll fire up. Ho 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 ho! I'd say that battery, in addition to the fact that the engine oil probably has the consistency of, say, molasses, I would say that battery's probably a little bit on the soft side. But it fired up. Guess I'll let it run for a little bit here. Back it out of the garage a bit, because obviously we don't want to get in trouble with carbon monoxide and all that good stuff. Because as you can see, it'll fill the garage up in no time. No comments on any of that over there from the peanut gallery, by the way. See if I can pull the truck forward and back the wagon out a little bit, let it run for a while. Alright everybody, that's pretty much everything I can think of to say for right now. By all means, stay warm, stay safe, give some serious thought to just plain staying home, because it is not a good deal to go outside here today. In fact, I'm not sure the Caprice was very happy with me for awakening it from its slumber, because I noticed it was running with a bit of a miss. Now, granted, I do need to do an ignition system tune-up on it. I think it could stand some spark plugs and wires and stuff like that. But also think I made the power antenna motor a bit unhappy with me, and I really hope I didn't cook it, because it seemed to be having trouble going back down. And I noticed that when it did, it was making kind of a relay clunking noise, and the lights in the car were dimming, so I really hope I have not staged some kind of a stupid disaster by goofing around with this car. I'd really feel kind of bad about that if I did. But alright everybody, that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and shut this camcorder off, get my butt indoors where it's warm. Again, I recommend you do the same. Stay home if at all possible, because it's not a very good day. It is hardly fit to be out and not worth the chance. So go ahead and shut that off. Make sure I've got all the keys for everything. And then I'll go ahead and shut the garage door. In the meantime, thank you everybody for watching. And feel free to leave a comment if you have one.